We hope you like breaking stuff. Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we'll be counting down our picks for the top 10 video games with the best destruction. For this list, we're looking at a variety of video games that either revolve around the idea of blowing things up, or the destructive aspect was simply an additional element to heighten the rest of the gameplay. Although explosions are definitely pretty, we are instead choosing to focus solely on environmental destruction. We are also not considering games like Minecraft or Burnout, because one's all about crafting and the other one's all about cars. Number 10, Breach. Reaching its way into the opening slot of our list, pun intended, is this team-based first-person shooter for the PC. Although the critical reception for the game labeled it as being nothing too special due to its been there done that feel, none could deny that Breach was showing off some mighty impressive destructible environments. This destruction wasn't focused on being flashy, but rather the little details, with the player being able to shoot apart an entire structure brick by brick, literally. Furthermore, the variety of weapons and explosives in the game let players experiment and get creative with how they wanted to go about blowing apart everything in sight. Number 9, Crysis. Powered by the then groundbreaking CryEngine 2, Crysis wowed gamers with its bombastic action and opportunities to let us break stuff, provided our computers didn't break while we were trying to run it. If you did have a rig strong enough to smoothly run all the mayhem on screen, you were in for a real treat. The aforementioned CryEngine allowed for a remarkable assault on the senses with ultra-realistic physics and particle effects, with seemingly everything in the environment, from the cars to the trees, reacting to every smash, crash, and bash made by the player. If you need any more proof, just look at some of the videos of players tinkering around in the level editor. Number 8, Blast Core. Placing a strong emphasis in the title's first word, you've got to blast away a path for a runaway nuclear missile carrier in this game. With that in mind, developer Rareware was able to place all their efforts on making stuff fun to demolish, and let's just say they blew things right out of proportion in the best kind of way. The game was a non-stop demolition derby, and with multiple vehicles available to destroy everything in multiple ways, who knew that something so repetitive could become so addictive? Well, Rareware clearly did, as the endless fireworks display on screen hooked gamers to their N64s as they furiously tore apart one obstacle after another in a quest to bring it all down. Number 7, The Incredible Hulk: Ultimate Destruction. When a game has the words Ultimate Destruction in its title and lets you play as the Hulk, odds are you're in for a smashing good time. Allowing players to unleash the full fury of the Jade Giant across a huge city and desert areas, Ultimate Destruction gave gamers everywhere the opportunity to Hulk out like never before. As the Hulk, there's practically no limits to your power. You can run down a street and send cars flying, toss tanks into the air, and even bring down entire skyscrapers with your bare hands. If you ever have a really bad day and you just needed to let off some steam, then this was the perfect game to satisfy your inner Hulk smash. Number 6, Rampage Series.
Looks like some really big-time players are hitting the clubs tonight.
If we're able to cause a lot of damage with the Hulk, just imagine the monsters that are 10 times his size. From the moment this franchise first arrived on the gaming scene, it encouraged players to embody the power of a huge monster and to unleash said power on unsuspecting cities in, a rampage.
Hold it right there.
Rampage lives up to its name, as the only real goal is to rank up as many points as possible by tearing down buildings, smashing cars, and bringing down enemy helicopters in fully destructible environments. It might not appear like much by today's expectations, but Rampage turns what would have been an otherwise taboo hobby of knocking over public property into a fun video game experience.
Number
Number 5, Star Wars: The Force Unleashed.
The Imperials have mobilized a TIE fighter squadron in your sector. Keep your eyes open.
In the Star Wars universe, the Force is a powerful energy that the Jedi and the Sith can use to their advantage in combat to basically turn the environment into one big weapon. The Force Unleashed was the first game to truly capture that feeling of what it's like to wield the power of the Force in the palm of your hand, even if it was way crazier than anything you'd ever seen in the movies. Almost everything in the environments were interactive, and every Force push, pull, and blast would send debris careening in all directions. While LucasArts never really capitalized on their proprietary digital molecular matter technology, it made for some pretty cool wood splintering effects. Number 4, Godzilla: Destroy All Monsters Melee. No need to run from Godzilla when you are Godzilla. Along with the massive levels of destruction that could be expected from a game like this, it was also a multiplayer game, doubling the players for double the on-screen damage. Every step taken as one of these towering titans of terror sends shockwaves through the earth, and skyscrapers are torn like paper as the battles rage on. With the player able to destroy practically anything on screen, it's no wonder that the developers included a fully featured destruction mode to allow players the chance to give the cities the biggest repair bills of all time. It's as awesome as it sounds. Number 3, Battlefield: Bad Company 2. The Battlefield franchise is no stranger to the concept of completely leveling everything on screen one piece at a time, something that is quite evident in the series' most recent entry, Battlefield 1. As impressive as that looks, however, we feel that no other game in the series has quite come as close to the unparalleled levels of destruction on display in Bad Company 2. The reason for this is that unlike the other games where causing destruction is an extension of the rest of the gameplay, in this case it's basically encouraged. The Frostbite engine allowed for impressive physics and stunning particle effects to really heighten that level of intense immersion and fuel our desires to obliterate even more. Number 2, Just Cause series. If you ever felt like the Grand Theft Auto franchise needed a little bit more mayhem added to its open world structure, then the Just Cause games are definitely your cup of tea. Although Just Cause shares the same freedom of its other open world counterparts, what sets it apart is the seemingly limitless levels of non-stop mayhem. A large portion of the landscapes are fully interactive and completely destructible, including vehicles, landmarks, enemy compounds, and even entire oil rigs. Each subsequent sequel added new methods of madness, most notably Just Cause 2's grappling hook, which allowed for more creative ways to make things go smashy smashy. Before we break down our number 1 pick for you, here are a few honorable mentions. Number 1, Red Faction Guerrilla.
Won't the EDF be looking for the Nano Forge?
From the moment the Red Faction series hit the scene in the early 2000s, it promoted a fancy new engine which allowed players to blow apart entire levels. This game's mechanic was taken to the next level in the series' penultimate release, thanks to gaming technology finally catching up with the developer's vision for completely destructible environments. Basically, the rule of thumb for playing Red Faction Guerrilla goes like this: if you see it, you can break it. Entire buildings and even bridges can be annihilated with a few well-placed shots, and the satisfaction it provides is wondrous to behold. What's that saying again? Build it and they will come? Well, in this case, break stuff cause it's fun is much more appropriate. Do you agree with our list? What video game do you think had the best destruction? For more smashing top 10s published every day, be sure to subscribe to WatchMojo.com.